Hey, what's going on, guys? I am the Goods on YouTube, and today we're going to talk about all-in-one rosters, what they are, and how to make them, what platforms you can use them on. But before we get into all that, you guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is at TGsoGood, all one word, TGSOGood. Alright, so let's get back to this. So I've done all-in-one rosters. Hold on, let me go to my browser. I've done all-in-one rosters for 2K18. Well, I've done them in various games. I believe I did it in 2K17 and in 2K19, but I just didn't make videos for those games. But I did make all-in-one roster videos for 2K18. So if I go to YouTube and then I just do a YouTube search for all-in-one roster NBA 2K, let's see what comes up. Okay. Alright, not mine. Right, so none of my stuff is coming out, but if I type in 18, let's see. Alright, if you see this one here, right here, then that's mine. It's my previous tutorial from 2K18. Or if you see this one here, this all-in-one college, that's my tutorial from 2K18 also. Okay, so let's get back to describing what an all-in-one roster is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to MyLeague. Basically, an all-in-one roster is kind of like when you go into MyLeague and you have your whole league rebranded. We're going to this fictional MyLeague. You have your whole league rebranded. Maybe you're playing as a college league or high school or Euro league, or you're playing, you've rebranded everything to resemble the Olympics. Anything like that where you have every team rebranded or you have some teams rebranded, you can make a roster and export it from your you can export it from MyLeague and just save it as a normal roster so that you can just pick up and play and practice anytime you want outside of MyLeague. You can do that. And it should have, as long as you're connected to the internet, it should have all the team logos and different stuff like that. So what we're going to do, now I think the only catch would be, hold on, before I go to the catch, I just want to say, so that was me just describing what an all-in-one roster is. All-in-one roster is where you have all of your rebranded jerseys and rebranded courts and custom rosters and all of that stuff, all in one roster, but you take it outside of MyLeague, because anyone can do that stuff inside of MyLeague. Now, so that's the point I made about that. But the only catch is, since that roster is being exported from MyLeague, you're going to be limited to 36 teams at the max. Okay. There might be workarounds around that, but that would be more complicated. It would involve other tools that I wouldn't be willing to do a tutorial on at all. Alright, so let's see. I'm trying to find a good way to show you guys all the team branding. Social media. Oh, I know. If I just go to rosters. Let's see. I'll probably just go in, show you guys real quick. So like this team, this is their jerseys. Come back out and go to like another team. So this team, the Scorpions, this should be their jerseys. Okay, so on and so on. so kind of like this. This team doesn't have a name on their jersey. But anyway, so we have a few teams that have been rebranded. Now, all you want to do is you want to have on the Limnono Trainer. Now, you can only do this on PC, and I wish there was a way to do it on console to where we could like copy all of our rebranded MyLeague teams and save them outside of MyLeague, but we can't. So let's just work on what we have. So initialize Limnono Trainer. Then down here you want to have custom list selected. Basically that custom list copies the roster, any roster that you currently have up, and it copies it so that you can use it in other game modes, except for like existing saves. Like I can't copy a roster into an existing MyLeague. It won't work like that. But I can copy a roster to a new MyLeague with a new save, or I can copy a roster into Play Now. So for example, I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to go to Play Now, and I'm going to look at those, see if I have any custom teams, which I should. So Las Vegas Lion Fest, San Diego Pacifics, Long Beach Bombers, Hartford Royals, stuff like that. Las Vegas Scorpions. But as you can see, some of these teams have lost their logos. Some of these custom teams have now lost their logos, like the Scorpions and Slime Fest. Hold on, let's go look. Like the Scorpions don't have their logo on their jersey, but they should have had it on their jersey. And the Slime Fest don't have their logos on their jersey. But if I go to another team, like the Las Vegas Lions, if I can get it to come up. Alright, there it is. So the Las Vegas Lions do have their logos showing here in the team selection and here. So what I'm going to show you guys how you can make sure those logos that didn't copy over come up. But real quick, if all of your logos do end up showing up, so if you did a 30 to 36 team roster that you copied over to Play Now, you just want to run through all the teams and make sure all the logos show up in this screen and on their jerseys and stuff like that. But I only rebranded a few teams, and I already see that a few teams don't have their logos, like this team, this team, this team. Well, this one does have their logos. This one has their logos. This one doesn't, and this one doesn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if I wanted to save the roster just how it is, even with some missing logos, I would just go to Features, and you still have to keep this custom list selected. I will go to Features, Create Roster, Official 2K Sports Roster, and then this is going to be the same roster that I was just showing you in the Play Now screen. As you can see, these team names. Let's see what happens. Right. So as you can see, I loaded up the official roster, but it actually has my roster from MyLeague still. And all I would have to do is just click Save Roster if I wanted to save it at this point. But since I have teams that are missing logos, after I've exported this roster for MyLeague, like this team is missing logos. But what I'm going to do is going to exit without saving. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a MyLeague Online. Alright, so I'm going to delete this one. What it says this one. Leave. Alright, now I'm going to start a new one. current NBA team, starting regular season, live, just start mode, and then just name it. So I'm naming it test, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to add logos for the missing teams. Now in MyLeague Online, you can only select one team at a time. So if it's you and your friends that want to work on a roster, for instance, you want to work on a college roster, all you have to do is just get your friends to go join you in this MyLeague Online, and then so like here are some teams that are missing their logos. Like these teams have their logos. Then these teams are missing their logos. So it's only 4 teams missing their logos. But you and your friend will go in, you guys will get together and, tell each other which teams you're going to select. So I'm going to select Slime Fest. And then I'm going to go in game. Since it's MyLeague Online, just go to relocation, upload team design. And I'm going to search for this team's design, Slime Fest. Alright, so I see one already. See another. See another. And then select this one. Alright, so I'm going to apply the team design. And I can't actually select any other teams. So what I have to do is, since this custom list option, which copies your roster, is still selected, I'm going to exit MyLeague Online since I don't have any friends that are in this MyLeague that can rebrand their teams. So I'm gonna exit it and just go to delete league. Then go back in, and I'm just gonna create a new MyLeague Online, save, so that I can edit the other teams. And I just do the same thing over and over until I make sure all my teams have logos. And as long as I have that copy roster option on, it should just work. Oh, well, custom list option, which copies the roster. Come on. The only thing is it takes a little bit of time to create the league each time, but that's a small thing to me. So let's see, Slime Fest. As you can see, now their logo is here to stay. But this team's still missing logos, and then the other two are still missing logos. So these are the Pacifics. All I gotta do is this time select them. And then once I select them, I'm gonna go in and do the same thing I did with Slime Fest. I'm gonna look for their rebranded jerseys. So just do a search for Pacifics. And as you can see, we got it. You just choose, choose the one that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and download this one. Alright, now they have their design. So now I just go right over to delete league. And again, the custom list option. Custom list option is still selected. Currently still selected right here. So that's why it's going to keep working. I can just keep deleting these leagues and going back in them and recreating them until everybody has their logos. Alright. this is the last time I'm going to show you guys, even though I'll still have a team that needs a logo. It doesn't really matter what you name the league. That part doesn't matter. That's the least important. And it's easier if you create, just go. I would go through and get your roster how you want it inside of MyLeague. Like, don't play any games in MyLeague. Just go through MyLeague. You can add creative players inside of MyLeague if you guys didn't know that. But you can. You can do all kinds of stuff in MyLeague. You just rebrand your teams, get your courts, get all of that. Like, if I wanted to still rebrand all these other NBA teams, I would just keep doing this over and over until every team has the logo that I want them to have. But it would be easier if you start inside of MyLeague and then copy the roster from MyLeague and then go into MyLeague Online to see which logos don't show up. But since you have the team names showing, now all you have to do is just select the one that doesn't have the logo showing, like this, and just search for that team name. So like this one is Scorpions. Again, I'm just going to search, go in, create the league, and search for Scorpions, and that's all. Upload team design, download. I'm going to search for Scorpions. Actually, I'm going to search for one I saw on Reddit. Let's see. I guess the guy did not upload them for everybody to use. Let's oh, no, let's alright, so anyway, I'll just search for Scorpions. Since that guy did not actually upload his jerseys. Shoot, that one looks pretty good. I'm going to have to switch up the design. Oh, no. Alright, so now I have to find the design. I like this one, but this is not the one I was using. There it is. Okay, so this is the one I was using. Or something very similar. No, it's actually not the one I was using, but it's very similar. I still want to look for the one I was using, but I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe that wasn't. I don't know. I'm just going to use the ones like this. But going for it, everything is saved. So now this team also has their logos back. And all I should have to do, now I can just delete this league, and I'm just gonna, once I delete this league, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Delete league, yes. And then once you're done getting all your logos back, you just go over to features again, create roster. Official 2K Sports roster, and just go over and make sure your custom teams are here. Oh no, they renamed the team. It's supposed to be Slime Fest, but they call them Slimesters now. That sucks. Alright. Make sure they got their stuff. Yep, the logo is stuck around this time. And the reason the logos are sticking around because the game is actually pulling the jerseys from online. So you have to be connected or these logos won't show up now that I've gone into the online MyLeague portion. Because you want the game to pull the jerseys from online so that they automatically load up. Anyway, so I'm going to save the roster. I'm going to save it as a new roster. I'm going to name it All in One. And I think I'm just saving it locally, hopefully. I think I'm just saving it locally, hopefully. I'm wrapping out here. Anyway, go to play now. Oh, so now that I saved it, I'm going to turn off this custom list option. Turning it off. And I'm going to go to quick play and see what happens. Alright, so no teams are showing up. So if that happens, just go back over to features, create roster, 2K official sports roster. But now you have custom list turned off, so it's going to give you the real rosters, and that's okay. I'm just going to go to exit without saving. And now I should be able to go to play now, quick play. Team should show up now. There you go. Then this is where you want to load into a roster. Let's see, my user created all in one. There it is. And it should come up. There it is. So now I can mess around with these teams and play now. And now have their team art. Look at dominance over there. Alright. Or I could just go into like 2KU and practice with these teams now. So if you have like a MyLeague and you just want to get some extensive practicing, I would suggest doing, you know, the copy roster option or custom list option, whatever you want to call it. So let's see, if I go to freestyle, I'm going to go to scrimmage and let's see what happens. Oh, that's the wrong button. I'm going to load up the roster all in one. And then I would just select a team. Now, if you try to go to retro teams and stuff like that, the game might crash. Because remember, you pull this roster from MyLeague, so there shouldn't be any retro team slots or anything like that. See, classic NBA, all time, nothing changes. So just stick with this. I don't know if I went to scrimmage. Yeah, I did go to scrimmage. So. Let me see these teams. I gotta wait for his team to switch. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna play against them and those. Come back over. Oh no! I backed out. Alright, anyway, so I'm gonna go back to scrimmage real quick. But something that I want to say, the reason why I'm trying to go to scrimmage in this screen and instead of MyLeague is because in MyLeague, when you go to scrimmage, you don't have full control over like who you can sub in and who you can't sub in. Oh, I never added their logos. Okay. So just statement on here. Alright, I meant to change the home team's jersey, but that's okay. And then we're just going to let this load up, and that's it, really. That's the all-in-one roster tutorial, really. But you guys can stick around if you want to, you know, see me quickly go over some other stuff as soon as the scrimmage comes up. Because I want to make sure I can scrimmage the way I want to, so I can practice with the team the way I want to. Come on. Alright. Did see a new mod today for PS4 buttons. So, you know what? I know what's going to happen. This is going to be choppy for a second, I think. Let's see, he throws it up. Let's see if it goes choppy. Yep. Alright, so all I have to do is just see if I can restart. Nope, I can't restart. Well, let's see. Okay, so what I want to look at is substitutions. Alright, so now I can do it. Yeah, I have bench 8. Yeah, so I've got my 13 active players that I can choose from. When you're in my league, you can't really substitute anybody in when you go to scrimmage, and then you also only get to scrimmage your own team. So I don't like that inside of my league. I want to scrimmage other teams, and I also want to, you know, mess around with different lineups to see who plays well together. You can't really do that in my league when you go to scrimmage. It's the starting 5 versus the first 5 off the bench when you're inside of my league. So that's why I like to copy these rosters over and save them for play now in 2KU. Alright, so another thing I want to show you guys is, so like, usually every time I get into the very first game that I start, the game is very slow and choppy. So I don't know if you guys noticed that, but what I'm going to do is show you guys. So you got Limnono Trainer up, you got it activated. If you choose this one, unlock hidden game options, I believe. And so now that I did that, you see all these extra options that come up. Now you won't be able to scam the game and do stuff like ask the sim out with VC. It's not going to work for you. That part is not going to work. But what I can do is go to rematch. Before it didn't have a rematch option, so now I can do rematch and click yes. And I don't think it's going to be as choppy. Let's see. Close it up. Yeah, the game will actually play smooth now. For whatever reason, every time I start my very first game, it's not smooth. But I've seen people say that on PS4 also. So I don't know why the game does that. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. That's all I have for you guys right now. That is how you can make your own all-in-one rosters and save them like those Jordans. He's got on one red shoes. Come on, man. Anyway, that's how you do it. Is this capture teaser moment? I don't know. Alright, I am done. I'll catch you guys on the other side.